Welcome back to the fifth episode of the BatChums podcast. I'm Drew Leiter, and joining me tonight is my co-host, the man, the myth, the new legend, Mike Gordon.
Howdy.
How are we doing tonight?
I am peachy keen. This is great, man. This is a big one. This is a big one. We're in episode 5, and we've got the one of the big villains of all time making his live action debut.
Yes. So this is Batman Season 1, Episode 5, The Joker is Wild. Episode aired Wednesday, January 26, 1966. Directed by Don Weiss and written by Robert Dozier. Now, was he Williams' brother?
Good question. I have to look that up. I don't know. I that you would seem to be the case. But I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I saw the name and I'm like, I wonder if that's his brother.
Let's see. It says he was a writer and producer. It doesn't. It says it's he's a son of William Dozier.
Oh, he's the son. Okay.
Yeah, he's William Dozier's son. He's the producer's son. So a little bit of nepotism here.
So that's cool. All right. Well, let's get into the recap of this one.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotham State Penitentiary. Joker is playing baseball with other inmates as part of the warden's rehabilitation program. The catcher switches the ball and tells Joker this is the one. When Joker pitches the ball, the batter hits it and there's an explosion of smoke. The pitcher's mound springs Joker over the prison wall and to freedom. At Wayne Manor, Dick is practicing the piano with Aunt Harriet. Bruce is reading the newspaper when Alfred brings in a snack for Dick. Alfred informs Bruce about the bat phone. Minutes later, the dynamic duo learn that the Joker has escaped prison. At police headquarters, Batman and Robin figure out that the Gotham Museum of Modern Art just opened a Comedians Hall of Fame exhibit and didn't include the Joker. Just the very thing to make him want to get even. Batman and Robin arrive at the museum and ask for it to be cleared. In the exhibit, they discover there is a bust of the Joker included. Batman decides to ask the museum director about it. After the museum closes, Joker and his henchmen break out of the statues they have been hiding in. Joker plans on stealing the museum jewel collection. Batman and Robin catch the Joker and his men red-handed. A fist fight breaks out. During the battle, a sword falls from the wall, knocking Batman out. Joker's henchmen overwhelm Robin and take him captive. Batman wakes up as the Joker's henchmen carry him across the museum. Reaching into his utility belt, Batman reveals smoke bombs. Throwing them down, Batman and Robin break free of the henchmen and begin throwing punches. Joker swears by all that's funny that he'll never be foiled by Batman's utility belt again. As Batman and Robin battle the henchmen, Joker escapes. Gotham Pier Amusement Park. Joker creates his own utility belt to use against Batman. Thanks to Queenie's suggestion, Joker decides he is going to hijack SS Gotham, a new luxury liner that is launching its maiden voyage on Saturday. At police headquarters, Commissioner Gordon informs Bruce Wayne that he has arranged for Batman to christen the SS Gotham when she launches on Saturday. Suddenly, a clown doll crashes through the window of police headquarters. Commissioner Gordon tries calling Batman, but Alfred informs him that Batman is out for the day. Bruce Wayne asks Commissioner Gordon if he can keep the clown doll as a souvenir. The commissioner double checks with Chief O'Hara and then hands it over without a second thought. Back at the Batcave, Robin analyzes the doll using the here we go. The hyperspectrographic analyzer. Robin doesn't find anything. Suddenly, Batman has it. There is to be a live telecast of the Gotham City Opera Company. Batman and Robin show up at the live broadcast where a man is dressed up like a clown and singing opera. As soon as the clown finishes his song, Batman and Robin swoop down and unmask him. It is the Joker. The Joker throws sneezing powder at Batman and Robin's faces. The dynamic duo starts sneezing uncontrollably. Joker's henchmen appear and capture Batman and Robin on live TV. Joker turns to the audience and announces his finale, the unmasking of Batman and Robin on live television. Could this mean curtains? Will the identities of the dynamic duo be revealed to the whole world? Is this the end of their career as crime fighters? Can they avert geez, if I can say it. Can they avert disaster? Answers tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And this is the first time we get the same bat time and same bat channel.
It is, and that's amazing how iconically famous that is now. I mean, in pop culture, any people will say that and they don't even know that they've never seen the show before.
That's one of the things I definitely remember from the show. So they didn't go too long without adding it in.
Nope. So what do you think of the Joker's first appearance here?
I liked his first appearance. His escape from prison was funny and kind of ridiculous at the same time.
So awesome. And we see again how the warden's thoughts about how to rehabilitate criminals are not really working out that well.
No, they're not.
He's 0 for 2 now. Even though we don't see him, he's actually, the warden's not actually there in this episode, but yeah, he's 0 for 2, his methods on rehabilitation. But yeah, Cesar Romero comes in as the Joker right from the first frame when he's on the mound. He just sort of owns it. He owns that character. It's really from the version of the comic that I was reading as a kid, it was like that character just came right to life. With his laughing and his mannerisms, his outfit with the purple striped pants and the overcoat, the tails, the green hair, everything, and to be honest with you, when I was a kid, I didn't notice the mustache. I didn't notice the
mustache either.
I think it was a little bit later that we noticed it, because obviously when we were kids, we didn't have high definition TV, right? So it's not until later where we're like, oh, that's really weird. But you know what? I don't care because he owns it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. He's got an iconic laugh and his mannerisms. So yeah, great performance.
Now, have you seen this one before?
I didn't remember this one.
Okay.
Honestly, didn't remember this one.
The beginning and the end of this one, I think, are spectacular. The middle part, where I love the idea that they, that the museum is opening an exhibit of famous comedians, and they didn't include the Joker, so he's mad about it. I like that. But the sort of the hall of comedians, and I think the Joker was supposed to be one of the, I mean, they're all supposed to be statues. Instead, they just step out from behind the statues. So,
I know. There's like an explosion or something. Oof. And they just step out from behind him.
All his henchmen are named after famous comedians: Stan Laurel, Oliver Hardy, W.C. Fields, and whatnot. But they don't look anything like the comedians, so it doesn't really work that well. But it it throws you, because Batman gets knocked out and they try to carry him off, but he makes a break for it as well. He escapes. There's a fight ensues. Like, it's just this is like, they pack a lot of action and story into just 25 minutes.
Yes, they do. And then we see Joker's vow that he's going to make his own utility belt, which
He
he
decides,
does.
he goes,
But we
he
don't.
just says, this is the last time. This is the last time I let that utility belt, that cursed utility belt, because they've met before. Every single one of these episodes, even though we're on episode 5 and we face, this is the third villain that we're facing, there's no origins here. We're just the producers just assume that you're going to know who these characters are. You don't need to know their origins. You don't need to know where they came from. Just jump on board and enjoy the ride. It's like, I mean, I think so much today is made of, oh, I have to start at the beginning. I have to start at the beginning. I have to start. This show proves you don't have to. We didn't start from the beginning. We just went. We just went running. We ran with
and
it.
if
We
you
didn't
don't,
explain anything.
and if you don't know who these villains are, you're going to learn who they are through watching the show. So
Yeah, I mean, we never learn any of their origins. I mean, we still don't
no.
know the Riddler's origin from that episode, or the Penguins, or the Joker. We don't find out, and it doesn't, their origins, some of them are pretty grim from the comics. The Joker's in particular is pretty grim. So I can see why and Batman's himself and Dick's Robin's origin is really grim. I mean, a lot of it involves death and, disfigurement and all that. It's like, yeah, that's not something you want to make light of. So they kind of tiptoe around it, but it still works. It's still a lot of fun. And oh man, I just love watching Cesar Romero play the Joker in this. Like he's just good. And yes, so yeah, he decides to get a utility belt. So yeah, you were saying from there?
I don't remember what I was going to say about it exactly. I think what I was going to say was I don't think we saw him actually use it, but I'm guessing he pulled that sneezing powder from it.
Yes, yeah. I don't think he uses it until the second episode. I did remember watching this one. I specifically remember the beginning with the escape, because it's just so memorable, so visually cool. You just see this big spring with a platform, and you can only imagine the Joker just went woo like over the wall. Like,
If I remember right, Robin says at some point, I think it was at police headquarters, "Holy Jack in the Box."
yeah, yeah, exactly. It was that. So the ending is iconic. Um the the mask, the opera mask that the Joker wears, was used in the opening sequence of The Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan movie in 2008.
Oh yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I didn't. Yeah, it was.
The Joker's using that same mask. It's so beautiful. It's a nice touch. It's such a nice touch. When I saw the movie in 2008, I was like, "Oh, that's great. That is awesome."
See, and
Uh,
I didn't even know that. But now that you mentioned it, yeah.
uh, absolutely.
And I wasn't expecting that the opera singer to be Joker. I was expecting Joker to show up. So I was surprised when Batman pulls the mask off and it's
Apparently
the
he can
Joker.
sing. Apparently he can sing. Yeah, they keep cutting to that like drunk guy who's watching on
Right.
TV in the bar or something. That's kind of weird. The Joker's got a what they, I guess what they call a mall, right? Like like a woman that's his, like, his girl. So I'm not saying that like this she's a precursor to Harley per se, but I think that kind of mentality will is what inspires Harley, because the Joker's the first one. Is he? No. Well, the Riddler has the girlfriend as well. So this series establishes that if you're a criminal, usually you have like a lady like alongside you, which I think does go and inform and is helpful to the creation of Harley later on. So uh I appreciate that a lot. I was watching this, and when I was watching this, I thought it was so funny because the Batman and Robin inspect the museum, and they're like, well, we're getting ready to lock it down. As soon as everybody leaves, we're going to lock it down so that nobody can break in. Nobody can break in. And Batman and Robin are on the outside after it's all locked down. And they're like, well, nobody can break in, but that means that somebody can break out. So that's when they realize, hey, the Joker's inside actually already. So they proceed to break in without any problem whatsoever. So I don't think that museum was that hard to break into, or out of, for that matter. But I think this one is top notch. Like I said, there's some stuff in the middle that kind of, I don't want to say it drags, but it just kind of is not as spectacular as the beginning and the ending of it.
So then we got the big old cliffhanger. We're going to reveal Batman and Robin's secret identities.
This is the first time, I know it's only episode 5, but this is the first time where Batman and Robin are in trouble together.
Together. Yep.
Yeah. So far they've been in trouble separately. So I thought that was kind of interesting to note too.
They're in trouble in this one, but it's not. This one doesn't feel as dire. You know what I mean?
Well, if Harriet finds out, there's going to be trouble.
Oh yeah. So was this episode based off a comic book story also?
It is. It is based on a story called from Batman 73, which was originally published in 1952, called The Joker's Utility Belt.
Oh, okay.
And I do have, thanks for reminding me, because I do have the writer. I want to give the writer credit, the creative team on that story. The writer was David Vern Reed. And this was a penciler. Dick Sprang did the art on this one. So very famous Batman artist Dick Sprang did the artwork on this. But yes, David Vern Reed, not credited, of course, as you mentioned in the episode, because they just didn't do that then, which is a shame. But yeah, we can fix that now by giving them credit where credit is due, because a lot of these stories that we see here on these episodes would not exist if it wasn't for the actual original comics. So thanks for reminding me.
Yep, no problem. All right. Anything else you want to say about this episode before we wrap it up?
I think I could think of, it's just really fun. Man, these are fun.
Yeah, they are fun. I'm having a blast watching them. So,
Excellent. Me too. And talking about them.
all right. Well, that wraps up another episode. Do you have a shout out, Mike?
I do have a shout out. Like I said, we've been giving credit to various sources of bat information that I have, and another resource that I love to use whenever I talk about Batman or watch the episodes or whatever. I don't think they make this magazine anymore, but it's a magazine called Cinefantastique. And it was published for a long time, and it was one of the best magazines. This magazine and Starlog were ones that I grew up on, as far as finding out about about horror movies, about science fiction movies, about fantasy movies, all that cool stuff. And Cinema Fantastique in 1994 did a special issue on Batman.
I don't remember that magazine, but I do remember Starlog.
Oh yes, yeah. Starlog is another one. But so in this one it's a quote unquote double issue, February 1994. If you can find it on eBay or secondhand sources, I recommend it if you're a Batman fan, because it talks about the making of the '60s show. It talks about the making of the Michael Keaton movie, and it talks about the making of the animated series. And it gives nice behind the scene articles on various aspects of all those things. Plus, for the show, the series that we're doing, the '60s series, as well as the animated series, it has a complete episode guide. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, very handy, very nice. I have a lot of fingerprints on this copy. and I would definitely recommend picking that up because it's one of my favorite issues of that magazine. They did it for a lot of other shows too. I used to love getting their Star Trek episode guides every season. They would come out and break out a season of when Next Generation was on, season by season. It was required reading in my house as far as I was concerned. I couldn't wait for those issues to come out. So.
All right, and for my shout out, I'm going to shout out about my other show, the Earth Station DCU, where we review comics and television shows. One of the things we're reading right now is, of course, the Batman series, which is being written by Chip Zdarsky, and it's featuring the Joker right now. We're actually reviewing. There's a Batman's created a personality called Zur and R, and it's kind of taken him over. And Zur&R's goal is to kill the Joker. Right now, we have 3 Jokers running around the DC universe, so it's kind of crazy.
I was going to ask you if you thought that the Joker was it is used too much in comics, and the fact that there's 3 of them running around. I think that's that's
Yes.
2 Jokers too many, right?
Yes. Now let me tell you, there is too much Joker stuff out right now. Because I remember back when I used to read comics when I was a teenager, I was always looking for the Joker stories, and they didn't come out very often. They were more rare. And so when a Joker story came out back then, it was always really exciting. Now it's not exciting anymore just because he's there all the time.
Yeah.
So he's overwritten.
I
So
agree. I love the Joker. I grew up with Joker stories, and Cesar Romero is one big reason why, and the way the Joker is established on this series is one of the biggest reasons. And those comics were always great, but you're right. They would come out with maybe one a year, maybe, right? And then he would always, when he did appear, he would always do something pretty devastating. And it really meant something. And they really, I think, over the years diluted him. And now, I mean, he's got his own series again, right?
yeah, we're not covering it. we they did one miniseries with the Joker, and we didn't care for it that much. So when they did a second one, I was just like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, well, it's nice to watch shows like this when the Joker was still the man.
Yes. All right. If you'd like to comment on anything we've talked about tonight, you can reach us at our feedback line, 317-455-8411. Leave us a message, text us, or you can email us at batchumspodcast@gmail.com. All right. You ready to get out of here, Batchum?
Sure thing. BatChums are ready to move out.
Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Just wait. The worst is yet to come.